Just before we adjourn, my lord, we just wanted to make quick 2 points. And the first one was that my colleague referred to the issue of intention, the minimum sentence legislation, and said, and said the state was misconstruing the issue of motive. We submit that motive and intention should be distinguished. What the minimum sentence legislation is referring to, it's intention, not motive. And we mentioned, my lord, that motive as well as the commission of the crime should not be conflated. And just briefly, Stayman's Criminal Law, 7th edition, says at page 169, intention must not be confused with motive for committing the crime. In determining whether acts acted with intention, the motive behind the act is immaterial. And just secondly, my lord, these issues that we're debating are the issues which at the end of the case, the court will have to make a finding on. So we are in our submission, my lord, that we're dealing with or we're arguing the issues that should be argued at the end of the trial and not at this point. Thank you. The last exhibit of Brigadier Gininda was exhibit ZZ. Maybe we can make this exhibit ZZ1, just to keep them together. Thank you.
Why can't Baloyi wait for re-examination? Why can't he wait? Why can't he wait? Why must we listen to him read and read and read over again? We are all already stretched thin listening to Gininda, and then you add Baloyi as well, and his many book readings and his laws readings. We get it, but please use that time during re-examination. We're trying to get to the bottom of this crime. We're trying to hear what Gininda has to reveal, because Gininda has a lot to say, and you keep interjecting, keep interrupting. So this is Baloyi. If you guys didn't catch part 2 of this video, Baloyi objected when Mnisi said, "You're confusing the law," and he objected, and then they immediately went for lunch. But Baloyi had stood up to respond, and the judge says, "No way." The judge literally ran out of the courtroom because, hello, they were going to miss out on their lunch. So this is him standing up, and I think now he did it deliberately. He's like, "I'm tired of being blue-ticked by the judge. I'm going to mix it with naming or labeling the exhibit of Gininda's statement so that I'm not dismissed, and so I'm going to mash it in." So he starts off with the exhibit and searching for what exhibit number to give it. While I'm looking for that number, I also want to mention, and then he responds, and then he ties it back up to wait, and then the exhibit number is XX1. Did you guys notice that? So he did kind of like a sandwich mix so that he could put his point across and not be ignored. So yeah, that's my observation. On Monday, is it possible? They might as well put a bar. They might as well put a bar stool in his spot, because this man has no plans of sitting throughout the cross-examination. And as we already know, Mnisi said he is going to be very, 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 very long. Very, very long. Listen, it is Saturday. I am just so happy there's no court today. I get to rest. Oh my God. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have caught Hijack on Apple TV, like I recommended in one of my videos. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it, because it had me glued. Okay, it had me glued. But I digress. Let's get back into that Pretoria North High Court.
About section 51, 1 and 2.
Thank you, Brigadier. I am just trying to find out if I'm done with Triple Z1, the statement that we were busy with before we went on the lunch break. You. Just a general question. It came many a time in your evidence in chief. You kept on saying that Kelly, there are numbers of a cell phone that Kelly did not disclose to the police, not so?
That is correct, my lord.
It sounds to me like if that is really a correct statement is put the way in which you are putting it. In other words, Kelly willfully, and I said I'm not here to plead her case, but then Kelly willfully held the information from the police.
My lord, I'm not sure how should I answer that, because the context in which these numbers were discovered through the expert is that they were active and they were being used on that day. So I'm not sure anything else. I'll be speculating. What I know is that they were active and they were not disclosed to the investigation team at that time. They only gave two numbers. Those are the facts in the docket, my lord.
Yes, because I would then have asked you if you've got any form of information or knowledge or even evidence to suggest that they asked her if she's got other further numbers, and then she decided to say, no, I don't have numbers except, cell phones, except for the one that I gave you.
My lord, I was not there on the first investigation team that was dealing with this matter. All I know is that these numbers were not disclosed, but the details of the interaction of the police officers with Ms. Kelly Kumalo, I think that will be left for them, my lord.
Thank you, Brigadier. That was just by way of intro, because I got a little bit concerned when you kept on saying that she did not disclose, as if they requested her all her numbers and then she decided to disclose, not disclose others. But thanks, as you say, you don't know what actually transpired.
My lord, I'm saying they were not disclosed. I'm not bringing myself to the conversation with the police. If you look at the docket, there's nowhere where they said these numbers were disclosed. They were not known to the police. That's what I'm saying. Only numbers that were disclosed insofar as the docket is concerned are the two cell phone numbers, the runaway phone and the one that was downloaded. That's what is contained in the docket.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, there's yet another statement, affidavit, which you made. I am just not so sure whether this one was made in application for a certain information to be made available to the investigating team, but it seems to me like it is a standalone affidavit, and it is labeled as page 100, as A198, and it has got 6 pages. It was deposed to, there's a date stamp there. It has got 6 pages. There's a date stamp there. It has actually got 2, the commissioning part, which is handwritten, has got a date of the 3rd of October 2020, and it was done by Detective Sergeant Bibi Mohola. But then there's also a date stamp there, which is dated the 23rd of October 2020. As I read it here, it's from the Senior Public Prosecutor, Boxback, something like that. I'm not so sure whether you've got it. But the one, may I just show you this one that I have?
No, it's not necessary, my lord. I've got it. That is the.
Oh, you've got it.
I've got it. That is the affidavit in relation to the application of the warrant of arrest for all the accused before court.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ramusipil is bringing to my attention that there is an affidavit dated 23 October 2020 as Exhibit ZZ that has already been admitted, my lord. I'm not so sure whether it's this one, because as I'm saying this one, the handwritten date says the 3rd of October 2020, but the stamp which was fixed by the Senior Public Prosecutor Boxberg says 23/10/2020. So I'm not so sure which one was admitted. It's the same one. Okay, thank you. That's Exhibit ZZ. Thank you. That's Exhibit ZZ. Thank you, my lord. I'm told it's already on record as Exhibit ZZ. Thank you, my lord. Now, I would want us to go to paragraph 3. I think now that it was already. I can't remember the circumstances under which.
Just ended up by Mr.
Ngomezulu.
when he was arguing that the warrants were unlawfully obtained. Am I correct, sir?
I beg your pardon, my
I
lord.
say Mr. Ngomezulu used to utilize it when he was arguing that the warrants
Correct, my lord.
was incorrect.
That is
issued,
correct, my lord.
unlawfully issued, etc., etc.
Correct, my lord.
As it please the court, my lord, I would assume that very cautiously though that it has already been authenticated, my lord.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord.
That's why I'm able to quote what it was upended for.
As it please the court, my lord. Paragraph 3.3 of the affidavit. The anti-penultimate sentence of his affidavit, that is the last but one, that starts with, upon the accused arrest, 3.3 in both letters deals with the circumstances of accused number 3, Mr. Mtobisi Prince Mnube. Now,
Correct, my lord.
yes, the anti-penultimate sentence there says, that's last but one, says, upon the accused arrest for a 2015 convicted murder, a cell phone was seized in his possession. Now, the cell phone downloading of his cell phone were done. Now we go to page 4 of the affidavit. It reads thus. The photos found on his cell phone memory showed him wearing the same clothes that were identified by witnesses on the day of the incident, as the accused was in possession of the revolver upon entering the house. He carried the revolver upon entering the house. Are you with me?
I'm listening, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Nzo. Wearing the same clothing that were identified by witnesses on the day of the incident. Let us just pause there. That's the extract that I would want us to concentrate on. Wearing the same clothing that were identified by witnesses on the day of the incident. Thank you. Now, may you kindly explain to this court, when you tell the magistrate that these clothing were identified by witnesses as the clothing that he wore on that day, when did this identification take place of this clothing?
So, my lord, I think perhaps we must read the sentence in terms of what he's saying,
Yes.
and then you'll understand, because there's no confusion insofar as I understand it. I'm saying, this is now if you go to page 4, the photos found on his cell phone memory showed him wearing the same clothing that were identified by witnesses on the day of the incident.
Yes.
Witnesses identified that the guy, the suspect with the firearm, was wearing a brown khaki jacket. Yes. I've referred to what to those pictures. So if you read the meaning of it, I think perhaps we're reading it in a different context with Advocate Mnisi. There was a description given, a downloading is done, he is seen, and we dealt with those photos where he's wearing a khaki top. That's it. So it's not saying there was a physical identification of the clothing. If you read that sentence collectively, you'll understand the meaning, my lord.
Yeah, dear, let me help you. This sentence simply says, upon accused number 3's phone being downloaded, they found certain photos. Those photos were then taken to the witnesses to go and identify the clothes.
That is not what the sentence is saying. The brigadiers explained that it merely says, you know, they describe the clothing in their sentence. I don't know whether counsel wants to take issue with him about what he wrote in his own statement.
I'm not so sure whether I need to respond them, because I am reading what is annotated here, what is written here. There is no word description here. It says unless the brigadier is saying now, no, it could have been the fact that I was let down by the usage of the terms or English. I actually intended to say the clothing that appeared on the photos that were downloaded on the cell phone memory fit the description. Is that what you intended to say, Brigadier?
My lord, in English you get synonyms. One way it may be interpreted in a different way. I've explained what I meant. There was no identification of clothing, and the docket speak itself on the day of the incident. What was given is the type of clothing the perpetrators were wearing. Now I've said if you take that to the downloadings, and I've testified about it, that there were similarities in terms of the jacket, the top, the brownish khaki jacket worn by accused 3. That's what this sentence means. So if Advocate Mnisi wants to interpret the word identification as being a physical identification, that's why I'm saying that's where we're not finding each other, because that's not what I've meant here. I concluded this. I've drafted this affidavit, and that's not the meaning that I had in mind. What I meant is there was a description, perhaps to use this term, given by the accused as to how the first intruder was, what he was wearing, and the type of the clothing that he had. Fast tracking to the downloading of the cell phone, a similar clothing is found fitting that description, if I must use the term, so that we agree. Not necessarily that there was a physical identification of clothing, my lord.
Thank you, Brigadier. I won't take issue with the usage of terms like identification and description. At least now you are explaining it, that you actually meant to say description. But when I read it, I said identify. Identify means you just go and have a comba thing, like to go and point it out. Do you understand? But thank you for the explanation. It eases my mind.
Understood, my lord.
Thank you. Now let us proceed. Photos downloaded, taken of the accused by himself, open bracket, selfies, close bracket, matched the description of the suspect who had the firearm with dreadlocks, big eyes, and with a gold teeth.
Yes, my lord, I'm listening.
So in this video, Mnisi goes back to Brigadier Gininda's affidavit, okay, and it's labeled 333 and it's 331, okay, and here he says that there are numbers that Kelly Khumalo did not disclose to the police. So, you know, and Mnisi is like, I just want to make sure I understand. How do you know? Okay, because Brigadier Gininda, throughout his testimony, even evidence in chief, he keeps saying that Kelly Khumalo, you know, did not give all the numbers, and they found the other numbers during the download or during their police investigation. You know, with their analysis using their cell phone experts, they found that she has additional numbers. So Mnisi wants to know how do you get to how did you get to the conclusion that she did not give out those numbers to the police, or she did not inform the police, or she withheld those numbers? How do you know? And Gininda says, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't part of the original team. You know, I was only assigned in 2018. So, and Mnisi goes, okay, I'm glad I asked. Okay, we've clarified it. Okay, because you kept saying that you did not depose, that she did not depose of the numbers. But you have now clarified, and I'm happy with your answer. Okay, great. I'm very happy that you said you don't actually know if she withheld the numbers. So let's move on. It's how Mnisi says, let's move on. That is absolutely hilarious for me. And then from then on, he goes on to saying, well, Gininda, of course, you know, he can never just let Mnisi just move on. He says, hey, I'm saying they were not known to the police. Okay, they were not known to the police because she only gave out the two numbers, which is the runaway phone and the one that was downloaded. So my question is, well, my comment rather, excuse me, my comment is, he always says the runaway phone. The phone is an item. How did the phone run away? Why does he never say the stolen phone? Why does he always label it as the runaway phone? Let me know in the comment section down below, because how does a phone run away? And then he says the second number that she gave is the one that they used to do the downloads, where they found, you know, those messages between Uzandi and Kelly, where it is alleged by Gininda that, you know, Kelly wanted to get rid of Usenzo, and that is the proof that they're using, you know, to say she's the kingpin, or should I say part of the proof that they're using to say she is the kingpin. Arrest her, okay? And then Baloyi and team said, absolutely not. Are you crazy? You cannot arrest her based on two women just having a conversation while one is very frustrated with her baby daddy. So, you know, that's the kind of investigative skills that Gininda is exposing to us here, you know, on live TV. So let me know what you think about his investigations. But then Mnisi says, yeah, okay, we're going on to your next statement, which is A198, which has already been handed up to my lord as Exhibit ZZ by none other than Ungome Zulu. We miss you, sir. Okay, we miss you if you're watching this video. We miss you. Get well soon. We hope your recovery has progressed and that you're feeling much, much better, because Gaputuma, okay, Gaputuma over there in Pretoria. We need your objections, and we need your counter objections to Baloyi, because Baloyi is getting out of hand. Baloyi is getting out of hand, but you know what? Mnisi says that the commissioning is handwritten and the date is the 3rd of October 2020, but the date stamp is the 23rd of October 2020. Now, if you know dates, or if you listen in court, you know 23rd of October is about 4 days before the 5 accused appear in the magistrate court over there in the Boksburg. So Exhibit ZZ is actually their application of the warrant of arrest of the 4 accused before court, the 5 accused before court. Their warrant of arrest was only requested 5 days before they appeared in court. Wait. Oh, I see what they did there. To enable the 48-hour rule, the constitutional rights of Ubongani Ntanzi. So then they'll say, no, we only arrested him on the 23rd. Ooh, this is interesting. I have to go back to my dates and see what exactly Gininda and his commissioner of oaths here were planning. Ooh, this is very interesting. But let me go to the next segment that Mnisi drops, which is, okay, and then in this here, you say you have photos that were found on his cell phone, and the clothes that he's wearing match the clothes identified by the witnesses the day of the incident. Now, okay, here Mnisi takes us down English lesson, okay, the English gang. And Mnisi says, well, if you say identify, it means you took the clothes and you took them to those people. And the witnesses in the house, and you said, is this the clothes? And they said, yes, yes, yes. But Gininda says, that's not what I meant. Are you crazy? No, I did not do that. And English is English, okay? It also has synonyms. So you're just taking the wrong synonym. That's not what I meant. And then from then on, Mnisi responds and says, okay, I won't take issue with the usage of the English language. At least you have now explained it. That when you said identify, I was thinking you meant the comba situation, but that is not what you meant. Okay. We're good. Mnisi is the problem, okay? Mnisi is the problem. And then from then on, he goes on to read that there were photos that were downloaded that the accused took of himself, which are known popularly in today's world as selfies. And they matched the description of the suspect who had the firearm with the dreadlocks, big eyes, and the gold tooth. So you already know. Let me end this video here so it's not too long. And we'll continue back from the gold tooth. I already know what Mnisi is going to ask. Okay, this is going to be focused on the gold tooth situation, Chef. And I want to hear what Gininda is going to respond with. So join me on the next video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and everything. Woohoo! Thanks for all your support. Tomorrow is December. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a long month. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.